Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, today with a little toast and a tribute to the late Armand de Belda. So yeah, this happened, when was it, last week or so, maybe 2 weeks ago when you watched this. I was getting ready to go to the UK with work, and then all of a sudden there were stories popping up about Armand de Belda of Fonteinen passing away, which is such a shame. I mean, he's a legend in the beer industry, and he's one of the people that I hoped at one time in my life to share a glass of beer with, because he's pretty much one of the reasons why I know of Lambic and enjoy Lambic, because of Fonteinen. When I was getting into Lambic, actually, initially it wasn't Geuze, it was a fruit lambic. It was actually Cantillon's Creek, I think, and also Rosé de Gambrinus that were the first ones I had. But Geuze, the first ones was this and Chedin Black Label. And I really fell in love with those styles, all the complex funkiness and those styles, that style, Geuze. And thought it was amazing. And then I started seeking out different lambic and all this stuff. I got to try, I went to, well, actually I didn't go, but Jakob, the Lord of Malts, did back in the day, went to the Sour and Bitter event where people were allowed to buy, or able to buy, a new batch of framboos for the first time that he brought back. Unfortunately, I couldn't go because I was in the States at the time. But yeah, we've just been drinking so many different amazing Fonteinen lambics. Like, one of the best lambics I've ever had, and the only lambic I've ever given 100, is Senu Frontiera blend, batch 2, blend 2. I don't know if it's exactly blend 2, but it was the second released at least. So just some amazing beers, especially Gooses. They also, of course, make some fantastic fruited lambic and whatnot, and they even have the Faro inspired #not lambic that they do, which is made according to Armand's, or was made according to Armand's, I guess is, because they're still making it, to his original recipe. So I just wanted to do a beer review of a vintage bottle of Fonteinen Geuze that I had sitting around as a tribute to Armand, because I think a lot of beer geeks and also just brewers owe him a lot. I mean, he's paved the way for lambic, along with, of course, a lot of other brewers too, but he was one of the breweries where people really started noticing lambic and really, seeking it out and trading for it and all that, and really kind of helped build a bit of lambic hype, which is amazing, So he was a person I really hoped to meet at one point. But that's how it is. I think there is this. A lot of people have these kind of idols in whatever they're into that they hope to meet one day, and unfortunately, I didn't get to. That's just how it is. But I will be going to the brewery hopefully this summer with my girlfriend for the very first time, where I'll be shooting some video for sure. We haven't everything planned out yet, or haven't planned everything out yet, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. So yeah, I thought we should raise a glass for Armand. Very appropriate, that's for sure, because beautiful stuff and such a dedication to his craft. I mean, you got to take your hat off for that. So what we're drinking is a vintage bottle of Oude Geuze Cuvée Armand Gaston, which is the first Geuze they made at Fonteinen, where they used their own home brewed, but in-house brewed wort for the lambic. It's when I think the first one was in 15, the first one was released. But which actually I have a couple bottles still sitting of the very first release. But we're checking out the 17 vintage today, which was released as a Oude Geuze Armand Gaston Vintage 2017 that I got from Beerdome. So thanks to Beerdome for the beer. So this has been sitting in the bottle since 17, I guess. Yeah, because it was bottled in 17. So it's been sitting in the bottle now for 5 years. Yes, more than 5 years actually, because it's bottled on the 14th of February in 17. So yeah, it's a 5-year-old bottle of Gooses, which is going to be really fun. I mean, Goose is probably the style of beer that it does most well with age of all styles. It can dip and it can go up and whatnot, which can happen with most beer, but it just does so well with age. The funk really gets to develop, and you get these like oxidized sherry notes and all this. So everything on here is in Dutch and Belgium otherwise, but it says, yeah, season, blah, blah, blend 19, 6.8%. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this and raising a glass to Armand. So let's check this one out. Pours, a beautiful color, lots of carbonation too. I could also hear that when I popped the cork. Beautiful glass, of Geuze right here, quite clear. I tried to pour quite gently so I didn't disturb too much of the sediment. Yeah, I think I did quite well because it's very murky in the bottom of the bottle, but it's just streaming with carbonation from the bottom of the glass. It's a very beautiful golden kind of rust orange color. It's got a slight white head, and it's the first time I guess I get to use my Fonteinen glass on camera. My Fonteinen Geuze glass. I actually never owned a Geuze glass until now, which is crazy. I always used wine glasses for it, or well, I had Fonteinen like Lambic glasses with the old logo on it, which was also kind of like a wine glass, and also some Cantillons, but never an actual Geuze glass. But yeah, let's check this one out. It looks awesome, and it smells awesome. I want to drink this right away. Man, it's really nice, musty, funky. I'm getting loads of honey for some reason on this. And I don't think this was a honey variant, because I've done these variants with honey. A huge, like, oxidized sherry profile on it, too. A little bit of, like, a musty, funky woodiness. Actually, a good amount. And there's definitely also dried stone fruit. It's not like that classic, really bright, at least on the aroma, apricot and stuff like that. Peach. Mainly apricot, I think. It's more like a dried apricot I'm getting on this. And almost like sultanas or something, like dried white grapes. It's so complex and really nicely funky. Smells super well balanced too. There's even a hint of malt sweetness in there. I think that's pairing up with that kind of like honey note. It smells awesome. Fantastic. Let's check it out. Cheers, and here's to Armand. Really effervescent, really dry, really funky. That is a gorgeous glass of Geuze. Aged quite well. Like, it's actually much more bright on the flavor than I expected. It's not like crazy acidic and sour, but it has a quite nice snappy tartness or sourness, but it fades quite quickly, leaving room for funkiness. And I'm really getting lots of old woody flavor too. Like really old, dry, woody. Like, it's like a really woodsy funkiness, like old wood, like really old woody flavors, and like sherry. But there's a bit more brightness on the flavor, a bit of lemon zest, a bit of also like slight lemon juice. It has that also maybe more tart white grape than stone fruit. There is definitely also some stone fruit. And again, it's like a lighter dried apricot or something. But it's huge on lemon. Also slight floral vibes. But huge like that lemon, pithy lemon flavor with like also like, again, freshly pressed kind of like a tart grape juice, white grape juice. And then like a really nice dry and musty funk. It's not like crazy intense on the funk, but it's definitely there. I think it's quite a well-balanced vintage. With a slight sharper sourness than maybe some. It tastes fantastic. All pretty much Geuze. I don't think have I ever had a beer I disliked from Fonteinen, I think. I don't think so. At least Geuze's. Loving that high carbonation, that like champagne-y carbonation. It's just going down so easily. And like it's finishing super nice and dry and snappy. I'm getting more of that honey note. I'm getting more of that like dry, sherry, woody, oxidized kind of profile too on that sip. And less sweetness, I notice, the more I drink it. It's a really, really dry beer, but it's really drinkable and really refreshing. It's pretty much a benchmark example of Geuze right here. I mean, maybe, you know, this could age a little longer, I think. I think it would do well with more age. It certainly is no way near being over the hill at 5 years. So I'm thinking the 50. So I actually got to try a 50 in a small bottle a few weeks back. And that was less tart, like snappy sour compared to this. More balanced, more funky too. But it's tasted like it was just still doing well and could, you know, go even better. So I'm just like, I'm contemplating when to pop one of my bottles of that one. I kind of want to sit on it for a while, but also don't want to go too far. But that's the beauty of Lambic, you know. So many things can happen in the bottle, especially Geuze. Like Geuze ages so well. Like fruit Lambic, on the other hand, for example, maybe not so much because they get more sour and the fruit character isn't as intense and whatnot. But this is fantastical. Yeah, I'm glad I got to try this. It is fantastic. It's a world-class Geuze. I'm gonna go 95. The only thing, maybe small 95. The only thing I would like make me enjoy it even more was just to have more of that like stone fruit profile as well, and also just a little bit more funkiness. Otherwise, it's just drinking pretty much like what you want from a Drie Fonteinen Geuze. It's really good, and it's a great beer to sit and sip on, and commemorate Armand. So fantastic stuff. If you guys had a chance to check out the Armand and Gaston vintage 2017, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer as well. And I'll make sure to be popping some more Drie Fonteinen beers in the future. We got quite a few in the cellar. We got some more of the releases they did. We got some of the great releases they've done. We've got a few. So more Lambic will be coming. But it's also beer that's really fun to age. So, but yeah, here's to Drie Fonteinen and here's to Armand. Thanks a ton for watching, guys, and see you in another beer review.